PKN 340. Kyle, I have a topic written down. You mentioned it a while ago, and I didn't know where it was headed. You said you had Sopranos news. What?
Oh yeah, the Many Saints of Newark. Are you familiar with this?
I've never heard. No.
Okay, the Many Saints of Newark is the Sopranos movie, which was scheduled to come out last fall, but has been delayed because of COVID several times. I don't know the newest update, but this will be a Sopranos prequel that will showcase the younger formative years of Tony Soprano, specifically focusing on the race riots in Jersey, I guess in the 70s. Okay. And Tony Soprano will be played by James Gandolfini's son, who looks very much like him.
Interesting.
And apparently he had never seen The Sopranos before because his father's
probably wasn't allowed to watch it. Yeah.
His son was A, not allowed to watch it, and B, his father had died, so he didn't really want to watch his dad. But he watched all six, I think it's 6 seasons, 7 seasons, I think. All 7 seasons in like 6 weeks recently. And he's been listening to Tony Soprano on audio doing the voice for weeks and weeks, to the point where apparently he's got the accent nailed.
Sounds like fun.
And the mannerisms and everything. And the more you look at him, the more that like you see James Gandolfini in his face. And they've even done that little thing to one of his front teeth, sort of turned it sideways to give him that tooth. And that was already enough for me
to be
like,
pause you there?
Yeah.
How did they via CGI makeup, or did they fucking hit him? Like what?
I think
What's that, Michael?
I don't think it's CGI because like I've seen like photos of him like wearing the wig and everything because he's got long hair.
It's a prosthetic,
maybe a prosthetic, or I know like Jim Carrey, for example, is missing a tooth. Like he has a cap. So for Dumb and Dumber, he was just like, he went to the dentist. He's like, take that back out. And so now he's just literally missing one of his front teeth for the Lloyd character in Dumb and Dumber. Huh. So I was already on board because all that sounds good. His son does look just like him. He doesn't have any acting experience.
His son's like 21. So, he's going to be rough and tumble getting into the mafia. Not like Kid.
No, this is like Tony's formative like mob years, like when he's like just breaking into the mob and being tutored by his longtime mentor Dickie Moltisanti, who is Christopher Moltisanti's father. And, that's the reason I've mentioned before that he and Christopher are so close. It's because Dickie, Christopher's father, was Tony's mentor, and he will be played by John Bernthal, who is the guy who played the Punisher in the Netflix TV series. He was also in the first season of The Walking Dead. He was, Rick's cop partner who was messing around and fucking Rick's wife.
Yeah, I like that.
Really good actor. I've seen cast photos of him like in his 70s gear. He looks good. So yeah, I'm definitely on board. I almost wish it were a TV series. I'm just not as hyped for movies anymore.
Yeah, they're not deep enough on it.
They just don't have enough time. It's one of the reasons that I do like the Marvel stuff. Like, it's not just because of my childhood love of comics and cartoons and those characters. It's also that like I know that if I start getting invested in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, that it'll get fleshed out more and more and more. There's going to be 3, and then, oh yeah, but this movie will be a Thor movie, but it's really a Thor Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They're all together the whole time. It's like, yeah, everybody kind of gets 4, 5, 6 movies to kind of fill out who they are in the Marvel universe. Whereas, I don't know, this will be it. I doubt they're making a sequel to this movie, but because it has taken so fucking long to make. Yeah, COVID has fucked up so many things. When I go to I used to be able to go to the Amazon tab, like Amazon videos and, new releases. And I'm like, oh yeah, that just came out. Great. You go there now and they're like, eh.
Yeah, dude, I think that Hollywood got extra fucked up, not because of the nature of the work, although there's a hint of that, you can't wear masks and stuff. I think it's because they're woke. I think like just everyone working there is kind of LA woke Democrat, and they're like the oil industry didn't get fucked up from COVID, and I bet they don't wear masks, but they're just not woke in the same way. So
well, all right. So
you need that oil.
they weren't allowed to work. In many cases, they weren't allowed to work. They would get shut down. If because of the actors union and if one person got it, that's where that, I don't know. Did you hear the most recent rant from Tom Cruise
yes.
I was on his side 1,000%. So Tom Cruise makes the Mission Impossible movies. And for anyone who hasn't been paying attention for the last 15 fucking years, they are the best action movies in the world. All right. I used to think like, oh, he's making another one. But no, each one is not only better than the last one. You walk away and you're like, God damn, that was just a good movie. That wasn't some schlocky action film.
I didn't expect this resounding praise on the Mission Impossible.
They're the best action movies.
I've only watched the first one, and I've never seen the other ones. I should give them a go.
Okay, so it's either second one or the
what's
third
the one where he's in the helicopter trying to save some lady and was like, "You've had a brain chip put in your brain," and then like her eyes just like, bleh, and she dies like a South Park character. They just go. Nah. In the middle of
so I'm bad at the names of them, but I think it was the last one. It had Henry Cavill in it. Simon Pegg is in a lot of them now. He's been in like 2 or 3.
He's a good actor. Is he
no, good guy. He's like the tech nerd guy that works with Tom Cruise.
Of course he is.
And Tom Cruise does all of his own stunts, and
we're live tracking.
He doesn't have a stunt man, so he does crazy shit, and that's kind of the draw to each Mission Impossible now.
It's like he's so small and light. He's like a cat. Like his terminal velocity never gets that dangerous.
Can we listen to the Tom Cruise rant? I think that's
yeah. We could listen to it.
So when is this from?
This is from like last fall.
Oh, this is a while ago.
Well, fall's not too long ago, right? It's February, but so, and I think it's from December. So I hope I timestamped this well. I was kind of going by the video, but it should be about right. You guys ready at 23 seconds? Ready, set, play.
Filming in London. According to the UK paper The Sun, the outburst happened after 2 crew members were seen standing less than 3 feet apart.
This sucks.
At a computer screen.
So I can't pre-screen this without stepping on your audio.
Okay. Here we go.
See it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone.
Cruise goes on to say that a lap.
Okay, pause it.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
I did a shitty job of finding a video.
That's a video.
So he goes on like that for like 2 minutes. He and at one point he's like, this is hundreds of people's jobs. Do you understand?
He goes further.
Everything.
He's like, this is the entire industry. Hollywood is watching us to see if we can film a movie right now. That's the pressure I have on my shoulders. That's like 90% right. And
were they filming like the biggest movie concurrent to when all this, like when they?
Well,
I can't say if Mission Impossible is the biggest, but it's certainly
they're $250 million. Yeah,
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah,
so,
movies now have kind of scaled back. You don't see as many $400 million movies anymore, and Mission Impossible movies are like $220 million movies. They're some of the biggest movies that are made now, and they're successful.
And he's onto something when he says, look, Hollywood's watching us to see if this thing's a success or not, and you dipshits with no mask on are risking all of this. If you keep breaking our safety violations, you're fired on the spot. But he says it meaner than I just did. Yeah. And
but he actually apologizes when he says it though. Like I was so on his. He's like, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. And like one thing to keep in mind, Tom Cruise isn't just saying this as like Tom Cruise. He's the producer of these. Yeah. He is. It's a Tom Cruise production. He is
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
He absolutely is the guy who can say you're fired. He's fired. He's not going to go to like some higher up and be like, I want that guy fired. He's gonna be like, "You're fired."
You're talking to the higher up.
Did you not notice that not only do I sign the checks Tom Cruise, but they say Tom Cruise on the top? It's like when Trump sends you fucking stimulus, it's got his name and picture on it.
Do you think all like A-list actors have the power to just be like for just a whim, like emotionally be like,
Yeah.
that person fired, you're
Actually,
out of here.
I think a lot of them do. I was listening to Robert Downey Jr. on the Joe Rogan show. This is from like a year ago. And he was talking about making changes to Avengers. And he's like, you know, at first you're like, I'm not happy with this. But then eventually you just sort of get in line. And you have some faith and trust that these guys have everyone's best interest in mind. And changes to make to the Avengers are hard. There's a lot of moving pieces. And I'm just painting all this. Like, imagine he wants to change a line. There could be some CGI work who's already done shit. Who, you know, like there's a lot of things that need to fit together.
It's not a cartoon. It's gonna
to build that movie. So it would be helpful if you didn't improv fucking everything you did.
Yeah,
because
changing one thing can get expensive. When they were making Gremlins, Steven Spielberg came in like right when they're ready to go and everything's built and made. And I don't know how well you remember Gremlins, but the little the main guy, little they're what do they call it? Eloys or something. It's not whatever the furry cute fucking thing is that makes the Gremlins. What's
Magpie,
what?
right?
Magpie, yeah. Like he's like, nah, I don't like how it looks. Make it look just like my fucking dog. Make it look like my pocket rat of a fucking dog I've got, all brown with the white chest and shit. Do that. And they're like, we've already got it made. It's white. Nah, make it look like Scotty. Just like this. You got it? Good. And just fucking, and they're like, all right, everybody, we're staying all night. We gotta. Did anyone take a picture of his fucking dog?
Oh no, the internet's not around yet.
Get after him. There was no internet. This is like 19.
I know that's what I'm saying.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your Polaroid and chase Mr. Spielberg.
All right, well, we got to turn a profit on that. You know, we're gonna call them Furbies, right? Get them off our hands.
Yeah,
So,
I think especially if you're not on like an event, like the Avengers is like a special case kind of thing because so gigantic billion dollar franchise. But if you're making like, I don't know, some movie where like it's 2 stars, it's some sort of like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie movie or
the
whatever.
Sopranos movie you just talked about, right? Like that's not as complicated as Avengers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if John Bernthal is like that fucking muffin man farted in my trailer, I want him gone. He brought me they're good muffins. He farted in my trailer. I want him gone. He's fired. I think they fire the muffin.
Like there is a limit there. Like obviously Brad Pitt, I feel like he could walk on the set and just be like, this person brought me shitty coffee. I'm fucking Brad Pitt. He's out of here. Never another job. But like if the guy, the fat Matt Damon guy, there's no way he can throw somebody off set, right? Unless or like is it a gradient where it's like, oh, he's the big star of this Fargo episode. We got to deal with his nonsense.
Like, or maybe he can throw off the muffin guy, but he can't throw off
Billy Bob Thornton.
Well, Billy Bob, or even like a lesser actor or something like that. A dancer, someone who is like a little more skilled than the muffin dude.
Well, first he demanded that the entire craft services area be replaced by blooming onions, and we did it. But he's getting even fatter.
I've been shitting all day.
He was actually right about that one.
You know what 5 blooming onions will do to a man? Why did you keep eating them? Don't you question me. They were there. I think if you're like one of those super A-list celebrities, actors on a film, you're the main guy, especially if you're like the only main guy in that production, like they can kind of get whatever they want done. Because you hear about like some of the hoops and hurdles that like get jumped through for those guys already with like Stallone on Demolition Man. So Stallone had this request where like he has to have a driving range built on set so that he can hit balls whenever he wants. And they were just like, the fuck? I mean, it's all right. Add a couple million to the budget for Mr. Stallone's driving range, I guess. He likes to hit balls.
With like, so he wanted a real driving range, like hitting it into the grass, not even just a net.
I think he wanted a driving range so that between takes he could just like walk right over there and hit balls. And I know Schwarzenegger's big on having like a full gym there, like not just like a regular human being's full gym. Like he wants his full gym there. So he would travel around and like on the set of Predator. I know he like brought down like a $300,000 gym and had it installed in like their hotel or something like that. Just like
Well, that's
used the whole.
excessive, but it makes sense. He's got to have a pump. He's got to look huge.
I've
Steam
been
gotta be
looking
as big
for
as-
it while you're talking. The Rock has a traveling gym, and his traveling gym is basically a commercial gym. They put it in a semi truck. It's all of course, it's squat racks and barbells and a full set of dumbbells, but it's a bunch of selectorized machine. I mean, it is a commercial gym, and they bring it on set so that he can work out right there. But it didn't strike me as an extravagance. You know, I want M&Ms with only greens. It's like I am a product, and we have to buff and shine the product daily, or it gets rusty.
Yeah, I got no problem with that one. It's moreover like when they treat other people badly.
I have a story. I don't know if it's true. I'm sorry. Did you interrupt?
I was going to say, which is why people like Edward Norton are hated, and people like The Rock are understood.
So I was I did that dance thing. You guys remember it? Paid the house off, and I had a what is it called? Like someone who drives you around, takes care of your
Chauffeur,
needs.
right?
Personal
Like,
assistant.
almost like an assistant.
They don't call it they might call him a runner. There's a Hollywood
Lackey.
term for someone.
Slave.
Yeah. So anyway, this person was there just to make sure that my needs were met, and that's what they did. They picked me up in the morning. I had a stomach ache on the set, so he runs.
Was
out
it a black person?
It wasn't. No,
Mine was black.
So then he's the guy who runs off to the drugstore. Comes
Well,
back.
it wasn't, but I got that.
You complain.
I don't talk about poop stuff very much. Like, that's never been my thing. So I'm like, I've got an upset stomach. They're like, we don't know what variety of upset stomach you have. So they just came back with like everything to treat any stomach condition.
It sounds my tummy gurgles when I'm really horny.
Anyway, so the guy was talking to me, and he said that he was at a table, and the star was like, they were just sort of joking back and forth or whatever, and then like he interjected his little funny line, and it just pauses. The conversation stops. The star looks at him, and he's like, "Why are you talking?" And he laughed it off, like maybe he thought the star was pretending to be a total asshole. He thought he was like, being a caricature of the worst person in Hollywood. Yeah. And so he kind of laughed. He's like, "No, I'm fucking serious. What makes you think that you're allowed to talk to us?" And he's like, you are serious. And the guy's like, fucking dead serious. And it was Ben Affleck. Who apparently was that guy.
Rumor confirmed here on the bonus podcast.
Yeah.
I can't believe Ben Affleck verifiably did that.
Yeah, those stories get around. Like, now that you mention it, my slave told me a similar story. I can't remember who it was about anymore. I'm sure I told this story on the show, so it exists somewhere in the records of PKA. But I remember specifically him talking about some celebrity who was a douchebag. It may have had something to do with apple slices, like that sort of ringing a bell. Like I think he wanted apple slices, or the apple slices had to be, they had to be special. Like at first they were non-organic apple slices, and that was like cyanide or something. I remember something like that. But he was a real cool guy. He took me to In-N-Out for the first time. He's like, "You've been to In-N-Out?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Let's go to In-N-Out." I'm like, "All right."
No, I think you confused me when I was saying, what an asshole. He didn't even bother to ask the star what kind of apples he wanted. He made that decision on behalf of the talent. That's
what, it's Granny Smith's?
What, you're bringing me sour apples? You dumb bitch.
You talked about how stories get around. So I was listening to this podcast. This isn't my story. I think it might have been Nikki Glazer and Tom Segura, whatever their names are. If it wasn't them, it was comedians of a similar stature, right? Not I don't know who's on top of the world. Not Bill Burr, but not someone you haven't heard of.
Yeah.
They were talking about how they hate being comped dinners. They're like, it's the worst. You go, and I didn't know this, but I guess the protocol is the restaurant says, "Hey, Kyle, your dinner is on us. It's free tonight." And what they know is, So I have to pay twice as much for this dinner in the form of a tip to the staff, or else everyone talks shit about me for the rest of my life. So you order $100 worth of food. Now they have to pay, instead of like $100 and a 20% tip or something, they have to pay $200 as tip. So it's not the gift it seems.
Well, they shouldn't do that. Just pay for what it would be in the tip.
Apparently there's a protocol and people will talk shit about you.
Oh. Well, they can fucking get over it. They're being offered too many free meals. Oh my God. How embarrassing. How difficult. How do you get through it?
They doubled the price on them, though. Effectively.
Not really, though. This is a self-imposed burden.
It's a societally opposed burden.
I'm just like, I'm up there rocking out, and I want one bitch to suck my cock, but now there's a line. I got to get my dick sucked by 5 women. I was fine after one cum.
I don't know. I saw their point. Maybe if you watched the podcast with me, you would too. It's like, oh yeah, they did effectively increase the price in form of mandated charity.
Nope, they're more successful than they'll ever be, so they're bad.
If I hear that a celebrity, didn't tip, I don't give a fuck. Because like I know I was like, well, maybe it was bad food, you know. Like sometimes I don't tip and it has nothing to do with like tipping protocol or generosity. It's like, this was garbage food. You didn't deserve a tip. You were rude. You don't get a tip. I'm not giving you a tip because I don't want to give you a tip. You're a piece of shit.
You know what?
Generally, if I don't tip, it's about sending a message.
Oh yeah. The only time I have in like I think the only time ever I've tipped $0 is I went somewhere and like we were the only people in there, me and my girlfriend at the time, totally empty, and we ordered stuff, and 25 minutes later, they come out and it's like, both of the things you ordered, we don't have. And it's like, okay, well, do you have this and that? And then she's like, well, we don't have fries right now. And it's like, that's so integral to a pub scene. Like, you really need those. Okay, could you have mac and cheese? I'll go make sure. No, we do not. And it's like, unbelievable.
Bring me a list of the things you have.
Yeah, bring me a list of the things you have.
Oh, wait, I have the menu. Wait.
I was just thinking like, oh, I can enjoy my beer. Surely they don't brew it fresh here. And it's like, no, it took them like 35 minutes to go grab that from the bar. And at the end, it was like they bring out the bill, and all the wonderful things they didn't have are right on the bill. And it's like, you not only charged us for the initial order of things we didn't get, all the other add-ons that we also didn't get, you threw on there. Like, this is absurd. No, she had nothing but a salad, and I had the world's worst burger. Because clearly you panicked and didn't even have the ingredient. They must have not had any food in the back. They should have just closed. And so I left like a $0 thing because she was also unpleasant. Granted, she's in a bad position not having any food, but she could at least be nice about it.
Yeah, I've been with people when the service. I've been with people and the service is bad, and they're like, I'm only tipping 15%. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? No, we're leaving 1 penny, so that they understand that we aren't just cheap. We hate them.
We're going to come back later tonight, and we're going to rob this restaurant.
We're waiting for her to get off her shift.
I stole his wallet. We know where he lives now.
We're going to intercept her on the way to the car.
Restaurant bandits, ensuring quality service for all in the public. So a lot of people call us class 2 felons. I disagree.
I've been called that before.
Yeah.
What is that your class? Do you have a class?
I have no idea.
Yeah. It's like ranking up a class 2, then class 3.
Yeah, you got to step.
Maybe it's descending.
Those are rookie numbers around here, Kyle.
So I saw on my feed earlier that Tiger Woods had a serious car accident today. I guess he has multiple compound fractures in his legs.
Yeah, I am.
Is there a video of the incident?
There's an image of his car all fucked up. They had to use the jaws of life and take him and pull him out through the windshield.
Oh, I thought it was a golf cart.
I'm showing. I'm showing the car.
Rollover cart. I read cart accident, and I'm like, was he going downhill?
Was he doing that? Was he like jumping it like in Jackass? Like
just flying down one of those San Francisco hills.
It looks like he rolled down a cliff or up a cliff. I'm waiting. This is what I'm showing people. If you scroll down a little bit, there's some tweets that have pictures, and
yeah, that car is fucked up.
I don't know how he got where he is. Did he drive to the left and go up that hill, or did he come from the top in a way that I'm not seeing?
I don't know. It clearly rolled over a few times. Wow.
But so Kyle said he had multiple compound fractures. All I've seen is that he's currently in surgery for his legs.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay. He was just
care.
in the last couple of years getting back in
No.
his groove, right?
No.
I don't know anything about. Well, I know that Irish guy's really good.
Yeah, he sucks. Woods has sucked for a very long time. He's had like 5 back surgeries or something. Like he's recovering from a back surgery right fucking now. It's like, you know.
Are you sure Tiger didn't find his mojo or something again?
Tiger Woods has not played like Tiger Woods in a decade.
Well, okay,
Maybe
but that's
you
a
should
high
go-
standard. Didn't he win some major?
I think he might have won 1 major in the last 10 or 12 years or something like that. But like he used to win 2 or 3 a year.
So you're right. He won the 2019 Masters, which I think is the biggest one. The Masters that's the good one, right?
In Augusta?
I think so.
Yes, in Augusta, Georgia. Huh. So he won that, and then he won something else in 2018, which Kyle said, he used to win 2 or 3 things a year, which I guess golfers don't win 3, 4, or 5 things a year, but Tiger did. He won 1 in 2019, which is why I thought he had his mojo back, but
No. I don't care about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods has always been just a real like no personality kind of athlete, you know. I've never given a shit about him or cared about his is that the thing Tiger Woods uses? I bet that's why he wins 3 Masters a year. He's got that special club that no one else has, right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's like I'm not totally indifferent to him because it's of him. I couldn't, if you played a recording of his voice, I couldn't tell you what it sounded like. Like I wouldn't know, but it's because he plays golf. I don't give a fuck about any golfer except for that one guy who I know there's stories of him like being blackout drunk and on drugs. John Daly, I think his name is.
John Daly
seems really fucking cool, and I like him. He's
really fucking cool.
My favorite golfer. He's
one of the best Howard Stern interviews ever. Hey, some of the stories, like he likes to gamble and play golf and drink at the same time. So they'll play like $1,000, $5,000 a hole, and he'll drink a case of beer during one round of golf. So that means he's drinking like a beer and a half every hole or something like that. So he's drinking all fucking day, just getting plastered. Like and you know, walking the golf course, and smoking cigarettes continuously. He would be smoking cigarettes on television on ESPN, you know, playing golf, and it's like, this guy don't give a fuck. I've seen like the behind the scenes stuff. You know, he's got the mullet. He just doesn't give a fuck. Hilarious guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, part of Tiger's issue was they changed the courses to take away his advantage. They felt like everyone else was just playing for second place. And they changed the golf courses to make them longer, and it was called Tiger proofing to make the other golfers more competitive. It was his back, and it was also he sort of lost his mental game. It seemed like whenever right around the same time his wife, you know, caught him cheating with all those whores. I think the whores were what were keeping him like Super Saiyan mode. Like having that many whores was just keeping him in the groove. I feel like it was
took his whores away.
Faux pas to have the whores when his wife was that hot, right? Like if Ted Cruz had some whores, you'd be like, all right, I get it.
Is his wife just kind of meh?
You know what? She's actually not bad for 48. Her bikini pictures leaked from her Cancun trip. But she's not good. I mean, Kyle's not going to be like, oh, get me in line.
Oh, she's got bitch face.
Does she? I didn't see her face in the bikini face. But
I like this John. I'm looking at this John Daly article. He says, I won $55,000 in a casino, and I said to Sherry, my wife, if you're going to yell and scream at me about this, I'll throw it over the bridge going over to Memphis from Arkansas. So I threw all the money out the window and said, you know what? If you want that money, you can go find it. But you tell me something. You don't have a job. You're not working. I'm supporting you. I'm paying all the bills. My buddy took her to a McDonald's drive-thru and got her 2 cheeseburgers and some French fries and a soda and was like, okay, so if this is how you want to live from now on, that's the way you want it. And that John Daly threw $55,000 over a bridge in Arkansas because his wife was frustrated at him. He also drank 5. He like said he pretended to go to the bathroom because he was having a bad front 9. And then went in there and he's like, and I chugged 5 beers, went back out, had a blistering back 9, shot -4, you know. And it's like, and you look at him and it's like, he looks like, if you had to just blind guess pick, like, which one of these guys is going to drink a dozen Bud Lights today while they're playing? It's like, oh, that guy. It's him.
A dozen would be light work
it's
for
the
that
guy
man.
with the 2 double fisting right now. That's so funny.
Yeah, a great guy.
To be that good.
Dude, just do a Google image search on John Daly, and the outfits he wears are all hilarious.
Yeah, did you see his American flag suit?
He's got the American flag. He's got some purple and orange and blue zigzags. He's got polka dots.
Oh, yeah, giving no fucks. Here he is with a cigarette.
He's got pizzazz. He's unbelievably fat in one of these.
He's got a cigarette, and like a third of the picture, he has his cigarette.
He's smoking a cigarette, wearing camo pants on the golf course.
This is just so John Daly.
Yep, there you go. I'm surprised this guy wasn't like on the Trump campaign, like one of Trump's main guys. Like when he brings his like awful group of celebrities out to.
Dude, this guy is a lover of life. You think he even knows who the president is or cares? No, I'm gonna go drink. He even said in that article, he's like, yeah. Made about $48 million gambling, lost about 96. So not a great overall record. And it's like, Jesus Christ. But this guy, he just wants to gamble, get wasted, and play golf. So he seems like he's in his milieu. Just loving life.
Really good Howard Stern interview from that guy because he's shameless, right? Like, like completely shameless about women, about money, gambling, you know, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, the whole thing. His fitness, like doesn't give a fuck, and so he's just straight up about it. I think he might be the guy who has the like ridiculously expensive motorhome that he lives in. Like I think he's got like a mansion, but then outside of it, he's got like $1 million motorhome that he's like, this is where I actually stay though. I got Big Alice, my motorhome here. She's got everything a man can need.
Big Alice.
I think you're right. He does have amazing motorhome.
Trying to find a picture of Big Alice.
I think he's having health issues.
No shit.
Yeah, he's
gout.
Yeah, so he has cancer, and they removed it, but the doctors say there's an 85% chance it comes back, and that was from September of 2020. So what's that? 5 months ago?
Yeah. Well, in any case, Tiger Woods is all fucked up, and I just couldn't care less. I also in the sports world, I watched Serena Williams fucking bomb it at the Wimbledon or whatever that thing in Australia was.
Is bombing good or bad in this context?
Bad. She was all she's in her cat suit out there, and it was her chance to break some fucking record for like Masters 1 or some Grand Slam titles. I don't know fucking tennis. But she lost, and in the interview, you know, they do that like thing where she's in front of all the reporters, and they're like, "You had a lot of unforced errors out there. What happened? Do you think maybe this and that happened?" She's just like all crying, and she's like, "I just don't know. That's it." She just gets up and walks away. It's like, boo fucking who,
dude?
Boo fucking who? Not cat suit.
I don't know much about tennis. Women's swimming is emotionally brutal. This is why
you hate them.
I'll explain. They peak at like 14, 15 years old. The best women swimmers in the world are just like teenage boys at best. And then as they become actual women, they lose it. So like, and everyone else is like going into college and getting better and hitting Olympic teams and shit. They're like, they can't replicate at 19 what they did at 15, and they're all washed up. And it's just early to be washed up, man. It is emotionally brutal to peak at 14 years old.
Yeah, pick a different fucking sport.
Yeah, Jesus, you peak at
Serena's 38 or something like that, and she was 9th in the world. Like, and I think she was like, she made it like the final 4 or something like that. She made it deep into the tournament. I watched the whole
She's
thing.
been good forever.
Unfortunately, the American girl in the finals played a Japanese girl who looked black and lost to her. I was very surprised that the Japanese girl was so dark.
I'm sure the woman you're talking about is half black, half Japanese.
Well, that's cheating.
Why?
Just seems like maybe she's getting some sort of an advantage there.
Too much of an edge.
Yeah, too much of an edge. Only full Japanese should be able to play for Japan. That's not fair. That's our thing. That's America's thing.
Women tennis players
have
peak at 21 to
LGBT
23.
Japanese.
21 to 23 for female tennis players. That's fucking young,
Oh,
dude.
come on. The Williams sisters had to have blown that.
You
stat
literally
out of the water,
picked the
though.
best female tennis player ever and said she's still competitive at 38. I'm talking about normal. Like
Is her
basketball
sisters
players peak later. You know, guys peak later in general.
Yeah, but I think that like I would think that she would skew that whole
Single-handed
number like single-handedly. She's won the second most tournaments ever or something like that, and she was trying to become first.
I guess so they're using the ELO points. Like I guess that's
fuck
how,
off.
however you rank a
know
pro
what that
tennis
means.
player. But that would let you use all of them. So like I see what you're doing is like average age of a major one, which like
Yeah.
it seems like a reasonable measure. But this ELO points includes all of them and figures out when they.
Remember when the Williams sisters played like the 400th ranked man?
Oh, that guy was like drunk and smoking.
He was drunk and smoking when he showed up, and he smoked them. Like going into it, Serena was like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna show all the little girls of the world something today. You know, we're gonna show you can do anything you want." And literally afterwards, she was like, "We learned something today that we didn't know before. There's a reason we have women's tennis and men's tennis. All right, we do not belong out there with them. Okay,
I mean,
it's a different fucking thing."
Yeah, and she said that multiple times since then. Where like someone was doing one of those stupid questions that probably annoyed the hell out of her. Like, how do you think you would do up against? Is Andre Agassi? Is he a really good guy tennis player?
He is a male tennis player, or at least he
and it
was.
was like, or maybe what do you think? How you do against him? I'm assuming he's the best. And she was like, "Oh, that's an absurd question. I would be lucky to score 1 point. Like, do you understand the difference? Like, you know how hard he hits it? Like." And so it was like, clearly,
How hard do they hit it? Because I was watching the women and they were hitting it like high 100 kph, like 180 kilometers per hour, stuff
the
like
men
that.
can do like 100 miles an hour.
I want to jump in on the battle of the sexes thing, dude. So the claim was they could beat any man outside the top 200. So first Serena went on and she lost 5-0 and then 6-1. And then Venus went on and she lost 6-2. The guy said, so he was ranked 203rd. And they said they could beat anyone out. He's like, 500 and above, they have no chance. He's like, but I played like I was 600 ranked just to keep the game fun.
No, literally, like he's downing beers throughout it. He's
Is
smoking
he really?
when he's getting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smoking is a
doesn't say
well-known
that.
thing.
He made a bit of a mockery of it after it became clear that like, oh, I can just kind of win at will here.
Yeah, it's not even close. Like I looked it up. Like the men's serve is the average speed of the serve is 240 kilometers per hour, and the women were like topping out at like 185, stuff like that.
That's unbelievable.
200.
So yeah,
Damn.
kilometers per hour.
Okay. That's
So that's
fast.
100.
Yeah.
That's 150 miles per hour.
Okay. Jesus.
Wait, how much did you say it was? 115?
50.
150.
Yeah, I thought so.
Real fucking fast.
Right.
That must hurt to get hit with.
Oh, that would be great. I would love to
least
see
it's
that
soft.
sport where you just take like 3 ball boys and send them out there and then just have like a pro just fucking beat them.
A slap shot from a standstill is like 110 miles an hour. Does that sound right, Taylor?
If it's like one of the hardest shooting guys on earth, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the hardest one ever is like 111 miles an hour.
I think it's a little quicker if it's a one-timer.
109.
Was it Furk?
It was Furk. Martin
that guy Martin Furk, FRK.
Martin Furk
He had been in the minors. And
doesn't care for vowels.
He had been in the minors forever, and he didn't even do that in the NHL All-Star game because he's in the AHL, the minor leagues, and the Kings were like, it was like a Air Bud moment. They're like, yeah, look at this fucker in the minor leagues for us. He can hit it 110 miles an hour. Bring him up. Fuck it. Bring it. And so, like, they suck. And so he just got a full-time NHL career out of that shot, basically, since then. Because now they know, like, yeah, just tee up Ferk. See if his accuracy's not great, but nobody likes to get in the way of it.
He killed a fan last week.
He's also their enforcer.
There was one, I think it's he went on to be a really good defenseman, but his name was Roman Josi. Still plays in the league. I think his first game in the NHL, he took a slap shot and he hit someone on his own team in the head, and like they had to go off on a stretcher. Like I think it may have been someone on the other team, but it was like a not professional slap shot. Like no player's like, I might get hit in the head. It's like, no, he's a pro. He's not going to go for my head. He's going to go for the net. And the guy just clearly like, just almost killed someone.
We hold these fucking guys that play with balls and fucking pucks and shit to such high regard. I think it should be like in the olden days, right? Mm-hmm. The gladiatorial arenas.
Yes.
A couple of them should die every week. Every week you've got like 3 to 4 major sports going on continuously. If you watch ESPN late, like they've got enough shit going on every night that it's just like hundreds and hundreds of these pro athletes are out there every night playing, and no one dies.
That's true.
I remove the helmets. I wish
it shouldn't be that much though. You run out of a team quickly.
No. Think you plenty of up and comers. You have minor league prospects. You got, I would love to see them throw a fan into the mix. That's another thing they did in the gladiatorial arenas. Every now and then, somebody's booing a little excessively, and the emperor's like, "Oh, you think you could do better? You want to go up against Maximus? All right, throw him in." And then, fucking Pontius Beer Belly has to go in there and fight Maximus.
It's fucked up. Just like
I'd love that. I think sports need to be more dangerous on the whole. Like every single major sport. Baseball, you throw in the aluminum baseball bats.
See, that would be great. And it makes a better sound.
Ping! Fucking basketball. I would love to see like some there's just one spot out there on the fucking court that's just it's gonna fall through like a haunted mansion.
What are those things that like assassins have where you stomp your foot and a knife comes out the toe? That'd be like a good NBA thing where it's like it's the Heat versus the 76ers. It's a mystery on either team who the toe knife has been assigned to tonight. It's curious. Johnson over there, he's been phenomenal with the toe knife. Take a look at the fucking Raptors from last night. Yeah, that entire hospital ward full of his toe knife victims. That'd be good.
I've tried to get into basketball, man, because I like talking sports on here with you guys, and I know Woody likes basketball, and I've tried to give it a go. First of all, the Hawks are garbage. They just have I think they won their first back-to-back game in like a month or two or something like that, and then they were showing their schedule, and it was like rough. I think they're going to play the Sixers. I think that was part of it, and then. It was getting rough. There was a bunch of rough games on the horizon, but I was just thinking I wish the rim had fucking razor blades around it, so every time one of these donkeys has to fucking slam it, he loses all of his goddamn fingers if he goes too hard. I wish it was fucking 4-on-4 with fucking traps. I just
with traps.
Here's the story of the Sixers this year. So they're winning. They've got. I think they had at one point the best record in basketball. All the power rankings, you know how they do that, like ESPN will choose the best team or something. Philadelphia, best team in the NBA. Our best player, Joel Embiid, is having an MVP season. Then they go up against the Lakers, who they beat, by the way. But on one play, LeBron James low-bridged. He did a dirty play on our best MVP candidate player. And he's been injured, and his back is sore, and his play is not the same, and we're losing games, and we're resting him. And now LeBron James is looking like the MVP of the league. And it's like, you fucker, you took out our best player with a dirty play, and now you're going to get the MVP and the championship and whatever. It's midseason.
Well, maybe not the championship. It's so early, like, he'll come back.
I saw him get his warning for flopping the other day.
Yes.
And then I watched the footage. They were calling it Phantom of the Flopera, and they were superimposing like the Phantom of the Opera mask over him. So that was fun.
Who flopped?
LeBron.
Yeah, basketball has a flopping problem. You know, I hate soccer for it, but they should punish it. They should punish the flopping
Severely.
And it used to be that like it took more than a hand check to get a foul called, so the game was a little rougher and a little more physical. Now, like if you touch me at all, it's a foul. So I do everything I can to make you touch me. You know, I'll jump into you.
Mm.
After the shot, I'll kick my feet forward, hoping that I can create some level of contact. You know, you have to dodge me while I'm shooting this thing because I'm doing everything I can to draw a foul. And that's the modern game, and I don't love it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I just despise basketball. I can't get into it. The
The
more I watch it, the more I hate it. Like I thought, come on, Kyle, give it a chance. You'll like it. Let's watch a game. And I'm just like, I hate these people. I hate them all. I hate them all.
I hate them all.
I hate them all. I hate
There's
how
too
they
much
play this.
scoring. There's just, I'm sorry, and I don't watch any basketball because the same season as hockey. But like when I do watch with friends, it's more disappointing when your team doesn't score than rewarding when they do. I feel like.
Did they just stop calling traveling at some point in the last 2 decades?
I remember playing basketball, and that was a rule.
That was a rule that we had in elementary school. I can remember. You take 2 steps, they blow a whistle.
Yeah.
These guys are just like, oh, they're just.
That's actually. No one can explain traveling to me. Look, I don't.
No
I
one can
like
explain
watching
traveling
basketball, but I
anymore.
can't. I don't pretend to be an expert in all facets. I don't get it. You seem to get 2 steps and a jump, which takes these guys from like the top of the key to a dunk almost. And I'm like,
You know how,
I don't
like,
get it.
6'10".
I can't remember what it was called, but there was like 2 football games. There was like Madden, and then there was like Street Ball 2004.
NFL hits.
Yeah, it was something like that where it was like silly. It was like the cartoonized version of football.
That's
what
hurt.
professional basketball is like. It's like the Street Ball 2004 fucking game. It's like, yeah, we just fucking run with the ball like for like 8 steps. It seems like they're starting outside where the free throw line is, outside the key or whatever, and like sprinting to the goal and then dunking it. And it's just this isn't making sense to me. I don't want to see this.
Is embellishment a call in basketball? Like if they think that you're embellishing, will they give you a foul?
I'm not 100% sure. I do know it's rarely called.
Okay.
They
do that sometimes too much in the NHL. Some guy I watched the clip on the hockey Reddit, and like the refs have sucked this year. They've been way too quick with the whistles. And one guy got high sticked and hit in the face pretty bad, and that doesn't feel good. And the guy went down like, oh fuck. Like, and the ref was like, you 2 minutes high sticking, you 2 minutes embellishment. And the guy's like checking if he has missing teeth, and like everybody's mad because the ref's call was so bad. And like everyone, even afterward, there were like affiliated hockey accounts like, we fully believe that he was actually hurt. He was not embellishing.
Hey, who is it that plays on an outside rink? I was watching some clips from a game the other day, an NHL game, and they were outside with like a river in the background. It looked really cool.
Yeah, that's just an every once in a while thing they do. Like they'll do outdoor classics in the winter. I think this year it was Boston versus someone else. It's really neat. They did a few years ago. They did St. Louis for Chicago, and they did it in Busch Stadium. So they set up a huge ice rink in Busch Stadium and like filled up Busch Stadium with Blues and Hawks fans because Chicago's not too far from here, and it was really neat.
Yeah, this was outdoors, and there was like a river flowing behind it, and then you could see the far shore with the trees and everything.
I think it was Lake Tahoe. That's where they did it, I think.
It looked really cool. I was interested. I was like, that's the game I would have liked to have seen. Like I was just watching the ESPN clips.
Yeah, one of the goalies was straight up warming up with sunglasses on underneath his.
I saw that on Reddit.
And it's like, give him a break. He should probably be allowed to wear those during the game. It's not very fair if not. The Blues are fucked this year. Like injuries are pouring in. Like injuries have been so bad, and then just news came out today that our best defensive defenseman Gunnarsson, he's out with a knee injury the rest of the year. So now so the way it's broken up, Woody knows this, but Kyle, there's 4 lines, 3 people per line. Like your first line, the really good one, second line, third line, fourth line. Your first 2 lines are more your scoring lines, your top 6. The bottom 6 are going to be more defensive role players. So 3 of our top 6, half of our top 6 is out for the foreseeable future, like probably not till the playoffs. Tarasenko, Schwartz, and Thomas, all out. A bottom 6 guy, Barbashev, one of our good centers, he's out. Our third line center, Bozak, he's out for the foreseeable future. Our top defenseman, Parayko, he is out for the foreseeable future. Our best prospect, Perunovic, is out for the foreseeable future. We just lost our best defensive defenseman. And of all those guys, the only 2 that are like, they might come back soon are Parayko and I think Bozak or Perunovic. All the other ones are like, so they'll put you on extended injury reserve where it's like they'll take your money off the books. The Blues now have $30 million in cap space in guys just too injured to play.
Shit.
It's like we're shit out of luck. I don't know what
Tarasenko's career altered at this point because he's had a couple of years now where he just
he had a good year during the Stanley Cup run and during the playoffs, but in the last 4 years I think he's had 4 shoulder surgeries, and when your core competency is shooting the puck really fast and accurate, that's not great. So yeah, not good news. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, he makes like $9 million a year, so I'm sure he's going to be okay.
He's going to be okay, but it seems like your team is following the Philadelphia Eagles trajectory, which is to say you won a championship, and then 2 years later you're not even average.
Yeah, I mean, the team plays great when half the team's there. That's 9 guys out. It's a hockey team. There's 22 of them, and they're missing 9. Like it's bad news for us. Like I'm watching some games now, and I'm like, I follow the Blues pretty closely. I'm like, who the hell is? Who the fuck is that guy? Because I don't watch the AHL. I don't know the minor league teams. I only know them when they join the big show, and it's like, well, there's no way that Badutsabots, who's 29 and just popped up here, is going to stop McKinnon on this. And no, of course he doesn't.
I still like
the Avalanche will catch up.
I'm sitting here thinking A, E, I, O, and U, and sometimes Y, and just this one time R.
Yeah. Just the one time R. I'm so excited for Total War Warhammer 3 to come out, but in my head it was like releasing early 2021, but they haven't
the
even
Vermintide game to come out. When does that come out?
I'm good with that coming out.
I think that's also in the fall.
I'm happy to jump into. Oh, god damn it! Well, it's already February. It'll be here before we know it. But with our luck, it'll come out at the exact same time as Total War Warhammer 3.
Yeah, it should be a good fall. All kinds of fun things happening.
Yeah, that's awesome.
June 23rd. I might play some tonight. Oh no, that's season 3 of Vermintide 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on any more Vermintide.
I'm more looking forward to Freedom than any particular video game release.
I know. That must be even more enticing than this top-down RTS fantasy war game. Having your life back.
I'm going to play my own sort of top-down role-playing game because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
Kairu, the Wizard of Ganja.
Yes. Yes.
He used the only spell he knows, Head Rush.
I'm going to go on some Skyrim fucking adventures. I'm looking forward to it.
Talk about Skyrim.
What's the next Vermintide called? I can't Google it.
Something Tide. It's like Riptide or if you just Google Vermintide 40K, you'll get it. It's
okay, 40K. Darktide,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that more than Warhammer 3 even, I think, because Warhammer 3 is just going to be Warhammer 2 with updated graphics and some more shit. But you
don't like the campaigns, so I could see why.
Oh, I'll never like the campaign.
I'm excited about playing some new campaigns. That's fun. But I mean, even multiplayer, hopefully the maps, it's not a 1 to 50 good to horrible unplayable map ratio.
Yeah, you need the list of the maps. There's a list of like maps they use in tournaments, and so that tells you what all the good maps are.
I have every single thing downloaded now.
Are we talking about 40K or?
No, we're talking about Total War 2. Okay. You can go on to there's a guy called Inticity, and he has a Discord set up where you can go and play. Like they've got a bot that does ranked matches against similar skilled opponents, and you do like a best of 3 with rule sets, and it like matches you with other players in the Discord. It's pretty cool. It's a lot better than just going online and clicking quick battle.
I'll need to try that because I don't feel confident, not good enough to be playing a bunch of quick battles because I'll get stomped most of the time. But then also, like, you play against AI and they don't play it all the way people do. And you look at their army compositions and like you like click over and it's like, why the hell would they upgrade all of those units and like you unupgrade them all just to see? And it's like, yeah, they got 900 points and just foolishness.
Chevrons. Yeah, the AI is retarded. It's awful at its job. But you know, people can be bad too if they don't know what they're doing. I like to play against people. I don't play against the AI. I don't like the campaign at all because the AI is so bad. But I do really enjoy multiplayer and watching the multiplayer tournaments. Like when you texted me the other day and you were talking about it, I was like, "Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm watching a Warhammer tournament right now."
Yeah, I want to watch more of that. Get more into it.
I get recommended a ton of it. I watch all of Turin's stuff.
I've mostly been watching Turin. I went over to that guy, Pixelated Apollo, but he's more like, oh, look how big this bomb is, more than like Turin, it seems. He's like, oh, and the reason he did this is because of XYZ, and this is ABC. And keep in mind this, because a lot of people forget about this, you know, little edge that this unit has. Or like, he explains things I don't even know, where he's like, oh, and these, not Warriors of Chaos, fucking Norska, I think it is. It's like, oh, yeah, they have rage. The longer they fight, the better they fight. So that's something a lot of people don't know because they don't know to hover over all those little unique abilities. There's so many abilities in this game that it's like, you're just like, I just don't like, no, I don't even know where to look. There's so many abilities.
Yeah, there's a lot of like hidden skills and stuff like that. It's a cool game. It's very in depth. All the matchups, it'd be like rock, paper, scissors if there was also like 30 other things that you could throw out there. There's a lot of shit going on. A lot of ways to tip the battle in your favor, and I really like those tournaments to see how like the best players in the world play against the best players in the world. It's fun. Those guys are really fucking good at the game. Like, and there's decent prize pools. I think the last tournament, the prize pool was like $3,600, something like that.
Wow, that's real money.
Yeah, not bad.
Huh.
Of course, our last poker game had a prize pool of around $700.
That's real money too.
Yeah,
$700 fucking.
Is that the one you got second?
Yeah.
Nice. What did you get for that?
Like 175, something like that. The bulk of it goes to the winner.
Who won?
Oh, I wish I remembered your name, buddy. I'm bad at that.
It wasn't Dirty or Class.
No. Dirty got rather upset that game.
I could have guessed that. Sure.
Probably.
I think I can't remember the guy. It was just me and him at the end, and I remember I had 3 10s, and I think he drew out a flush. So like I didn't mind losing. It was just like that's the way it goes. Yeah, I've been playing a bunch of poker. That's another thing that I want to do whenever I go to Colorado on this little trip. Yeah, there's a nice casino about 40 minutes outside of Denver. So either do that, or if we've got enough big enough group at the Manor, I was telling the guys we could go to the bank and get like a ton of quarters and 50-cent pieces and just play a cash game that way, and just use quarters and play 25-cent, 50-cent blinds and play like a small cash game that way.
Probably don't even want this, but could we do a 25-person poker game at the hangout, or is that just maybe that's a bad idea? Too much waiting.
You'd have to do multiple tables, and you'd have to involve money, and I don't know if everyone wants to play for money.
That's true.
Yeah, you can only do like shit. I don't know how many people are at a table. 12 maybe.
I was just trying to float the idea of a group activity that might be fun, something to that you look back on. Yeah, I feel you. It's a big group, though.
It's a big group. Group. Yeah, it's like 30 of us. Like 25. Yeah, it's like 25 in each room. Yeah. It's going to be a big one this weekend. We were just talking about that before the show. We were for those of you listening to this, we're going to put out a Google Doc to you guys tonight. And you'll be able to like reserve a spot, whether you want to be in the first hangout or the second or the third or the potential fourth. God hope there isn't one. And so just like go in there, click when you want to be in there. That way, like especially if you're in Australia or Japan or something, and like one of those time periods is much better for you. Make sure you get the more advantageous time period for you, because I got a feeling like maybe the first one is going to fill up quickly. Last month I was like, I think I like messaged everybody in the Discord. I was like, all right, the fuck show will be happening in Hangout number 2. So if you don't want to be part of the fuck show and you want to get in early, jump in Hangout 1. And like 18 people jump into Hangout 1. And I look, and the waiting list for Hangout 2 is like 40 people. And I'm just like, oh, everybody wants the fuck show.
Yeah, of course they do.
You think there'll be
Fuck show was fun. He broke out the Sibian. We got to see some dick root.
That's true. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, we got to see some P and the V. So that was a new high. He sent me his or she sent me her OnlyFans, and I need to talk to him to see if he wants me to like say that publicly or if he wants me to say that in the Discord, because I don't want to like give it more exposure than they are looking for. But he sent me their OnlyFans, or she sent me their OnlyFans a few days ago. So that's a thing too. But yeah, you've got there's the Google Doc will be getting emailed to you patrons tonight, any moment now. It may have already happened. It's his, so yeah, just reserve a slot. I don't know when the fuck show is going to be. Don't let that be your guiding light. I don't know for 100. I don't know
show
100%
is
if there
hanging
will
out
be
with us.
That's yes, and we won't be fucking anyone.
I might have a solo show. It depends on my mood.
Could be a solo show from Woody. All right, just fingers crossed. But yeah, make sure you reserve your slot, and please do so quickly, like if, so that we have an idea of what's going on this weekend. Nice short month, Black History Month. So it's coming to a close rapidly.
Yep. It's an hour. PKN 340.